What is going on with One Piece treasure cruise lately? They just seem to be dropping the ball in every single change they make after the 10th anniversary. And it's not even like these changes are properly announced to the players through in-game notifications or something like that, or even, the One Piece treasure cruise team letters that are supposedly created to communicate with the community. They are listening to feedback after all, but I don't think the turtle changes in Pirating Adventures happened because of our feedback in the latest or even the previous survey. As you can see, we are currently on the treasure map planner for the upcoming treasure map versus Arlong. In case you do not know it, I will have the link for it in the description. Amazing tool, probably the best we have as One Piece treasure cruise players to build teams for treasure map. It is infinitely better than building teams in-game, and it is also not funded by Bandai, so shout out to the guys that actually maintain it all these years. It has been extremely helpful, and it of course keeps being. We are going to primarily talk about treasure map today, but I also want to finish my thought process on the Pirating Adventures changes, since I didn't actually make a video on it when the new Pirating Adventures came out. The first change is the normal Chopperman mission rewards for Pirating Adventures are providing less rewards essentially. For example, in specific benchmarks we were getting 10 gems, now we're just getting 5. So that reward was cut in half, and many others, of course, alongside it. So less rewards, and then we have a 9-day period to reach level 150, where supposedly the drop rates for the Haim or Hime turtles, not sure what it's called, are increased there. But the thing is that even there, the drop rates are not good enough for the 9-day period for players to comfortably, even with the new bats, mind you, farm all of the turtles and get the Chopperman mission rewards. And after the 9 days, you can't anymore, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Not only because this change doesn't really seem to be new bats dependent, because the new bats can increase your drops, but it doesn't increase your drop rate. On top of that, whose amazing idea of game design is to actually limit your 30-day limited event to 9 days if you want specific rewards out of it. It doesn't make sense, it's stupid, and they also seem to love the 9-day limit now because the same happens with the co-op quests. And in my opinion, the new bats comes in this 9-day limit because they want you to pull for the new bats, have an easy time climbing through the difficulties, get to level 150 and then farm for the turtles there. But the funny thing is that even whales are annoyed now, because even with the new bats, they can't definitely get all of the turtles because the drops are dependent on RNG, and not good RNG either. Surprise, surprise, another mode in One Piece Treasure Cruise is a mess. I think generally Pirating Adventures is a letdown, especially lately, because it is becoming more of a hassle to build teams for the higher difficulties, because they rely so much on the new units, especially in the memories of the Straw Hats line, it is so evident. But outside of that, the mode is pretty annoying to team build around if you want to use full boosted teams, and that is why a lot of the time I ignore the 100 plus difficulty and don't even bother with it. The mode would be infinitely better if we had no boosted list and we could just team build freely. But now it just seems like Bandai is trying to counter people that are actually using non-boosted units by, of course, promoting you farming 150 and having the new bats to multiply your drops when and if you actually get them. That's enough for Pirating Adventures for now. Let's actually talk about Treasure Map. Hopefully I also put some pools for you guys to watch while I was talking about PKA. But we are now in the planner, and what I want to talk about is the shadow change that keeps happening little by little in Treasure Map lately. Bandai is reducing the boosted list characters. If you are in the higher leagues, you also need to use unique units, so if we use, let's say, this Luffy in the first team, we can't also use him in the second team. Excluding of course the intrusion battle, there you can use whoever you want. So essentially you are going to need anywhere from 25 to 30 unique units, depending on if you are using unique friend captains or not, for your 5 boss battles. For the boosted list of the current treasure map, we have 59 boosted characters. Comparing that with the boosted list of last year's treasure map Yamato that approximately came at the same time period during the summer, we see a lot more characters evidently here, just from the treasure map planner, but if I calculated correctly, they are 105 characters, close to double the amount of available characters in the boosted list than we get now in treasure map Arlong. Or should I say treasure map versus Spandam, where we have the ability to get Super Evolution Skulls and Super Evolve Pirating Adventures Arlong to the 5+ version and the better version of his unit. That is something I also don't like about treasure map now. They changed it. I think the last time was Baccarat. Yeah, there you go. Baccarat Dice and Mr. Tanaka were the final treasure map unit, and everything after that, we just get Super Evolution Skulls to Super Evolve the Pirating Adventures unit from treasure map, which I really don't like. I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, it's not good simply because if the Super Evolution from treasure map is a direct upgrade to the Pirating Adventures unit, when the events are finished, we have essentially no reason to use the 5-star version. We are just going to use the 5+ version if we ever need to, meaning that from treasure map and Pirating Adventures, we only get one new free-to-play unit, but in order to play these modes more comfortably, you need to pull for 2 to 3 legends, and then 4 or maybe more rare recruits. So for one free-to-play unit, we need to pull for 2 different batches. That definitely doesn't sound good in combination with them reducing the rewards from Pirating Adventures. But going back to the boosted list, the reason I personally think it is getting reduced is pretty simple. Grid, treasure map legends, and they simply want you to pull in treasure map Sugofests. Since we now have quite a few treasure map legends and more are getting released, the 1.25 times multiplier section of the boosted list is almost exclusively occupied by treasure map legends. We might see the last month's Pirating Adventures unit as well, but mainly treasure map legends. Back in the day, if we go to the Yamato Sugofest, or treasure map rather, we see that we have a lot of treasure map free-to-play units as well alongside the treasure map legends. It makes sense that treasure map legends should be there every treasure map, but for the treasure map free-to-play units, they have almost gone extinct from the boosted list. For example, now in the new boosted list, we only see 5 of them. And fun fact, they are not even boosted by 1.25 times, they are boosted by the lowest possible amount of 1.2 times. Definitely a downgrade for the free-to-play treasure map units. And they are not alone, because the same is happening with the Raid, Colosseum and Arena units. Arena units are not even available in this treasure map boosted list, but Raids and Colosseums combined provide a total of 4 boosted units boosted by 1.2 times. The multiplier was the same back in the day as well, but look at how many more available units from these categories are in the Yamato treasure map boosted list. Even in the others category, where we now only have the Cypher to play Straw Hats, we had more options, like Roger, an older PKA unit, Lim, who was free to play, and even Zorojuro, who comes from a quest in the Recollection archive, but now just the free to play Straw Hats. Someone might of course say, some of these Raid, Fortnite and Colosseum units are extremely outdated and won't be useful for a lot of players in the treasure map. This Raid Blackbeard, for example, will barely be used, but you never know. You might be out of options and you might use him as a filler unit that either helps with his color and has color advantage over the miniboss, or with his classes that are specifically boosted by our captain. Now the free-to-play unit options are considerably less. And let's even say we do accept the fact that they cut out these older outdated free-to-play units because no one is using them. The treasure map free-to-play units though are cut down almost to less than half, and their multiplier is reduced too, and treasure map free-to-play units, especially now with level limit break, can be very useful in specific treasure maps. Even some of the Colosseum units, why would you only provide one in this treasure map? Here, you could use Kid for example for his end of turn damage, or Mihawk to remove the resilience of the enemy. You could use Okiku for the damage reduction instead of using the new rare recruit, or if Okiku removes it by only 5 turns, the new rare recruit by 6, you could combine Okiku with the support or another damage reduction remover. And just like that, a big problem arises. You have less and less options to use to remove specific debuffs, especially if we consider the specific units with classes or types that get special cooldown reduction in each mini-boss, and these options might even just exclusively be the new treasure map batch or older legends and maybe a free-to-play unit. And now if you miss these older treasure map legends, you might even be screwed and you need to find supports to deal with debuffs and stuff like that. And I am certain it will happen again, and I will showcase it immediately here in the new treasure map. So Spandam is the main boss. We're going to filter with the types that get special cooldown reduction, and then the first debuff. We are going to see what units can remove attack down from their special. And here we go. Point proven. 2 older treasure map legends that if you miss, it's going to be pretty hard for you. Then treasure map Siriu, who is a free-to-play unit but only removes attack down for 4 turns. 6 are available, meaning you also need to use a support or another attack down remover. And of course the new treasure map rare recruit Tom that doesn't have his abilities and stats yet in the database, it seems. He can also deal with it though, of course. And we can see the exact same theme with another debuff in this quest. Paralysis that we need to remove in the final stage to deal with paralysis slots. There we go, same exact story. 2 treasure map legends, one of them we might have used in the previous stage, so we can't use again, Nami and Karina. And then Siriu, again, same story with Nami and Karina, we might have used him before if that is the preferred choice alongside the support to remove attack down in stage 2. We can't use him again to deal with paralysis, and he's the only free-to-play unit available that can do that in this treasure map boosted list. And then a rare recruit, Robin, who a lot of people simply might not have because he was available during the 10th anniversary alongside Luffy in a Sugo Fest where the other 10th anniversary legends were not available. And of course the new treasure map rare recruit, Iceberg. And to top this all off, what has Bandai also done? They have completely gutted the 1.35 times section of the boosted list. We only have 4 units here, one of which is the past Kizuna legend. The other 2 are the rare recruits from the batch with Nami and Robin that got released with Pirating Adventures, and the newest legend Super Evolution, which for this month is Law. Let's once again compare with last year's treasure map. Look at how many more 1.35 times boosters are available. And I'm not saying they're free-to-play units, yes, legends and rare recruits are also available here, but just look at how many more are available. Even if we go to the next treasure map, we once again see way more units available. And even in the next one with Baccarat, look at how many more units in general we see here in this boosted list compared to the new one for the upcoming treasure map. What is going on? What are they even doing lately with One Piece Treasure Cruise? Because by the looks of it, definitely not listening to feedback like they claim. It feels like every change that is happening lately doesn't happen for the good of the players or for the good of the game. It makes the game worse, more of a hassle, and way more of a grind, something that they specifically said they didn't want to do with the game in a past One Piece Treasure Cruise team letter, but it is exactly what is happening right now, and to simply put it, it is extremely disappointing to see.